In this devblog, I'm diving into uncharted territory, creating animations and particle effects in Unreal Engine. Plus, I followed a tutorial on making a post-process material, all while working with just one hand. So, let's jump in. First up, I needed to get the inspector's weapon operational. I consulted AI for help on how this weapon would work in the game. The response was not your typical setup, so I took some time to break it down and made a task list to keep me on track. With this list in hand, I needed to choose where to start. I decided to start with particle effects using Niagara in Unreal Engine. I asked AI how to create a projectile effect and received a step-by-step guide. I am recovering from surgery and my right hand will not be back in action until Christmas. Everything takes a bit longer, but I pushed through, and here's how it went. I created a new Niagara system with an empty template and added a sphere location module. Then I configured the velocity, changing the default z-axis to x-axis. When prompted with unmet dependencies, I clicked the Fix Issue button. I followed the AI's instructions and adjusted the color to a bluish hue, but hit a snag when I couldn't find the Scale Color by Life module. I substituted it with Scale Color by Speed. I also added a ribbon renderer but couldn't locate a setting to change its color. There was another issue. The particle preview wasn't rendering. I realized I needed to set a spawn rate for the emitter. Once that was done, it came alive. I tweaked the sphere radius and velocity, playing around with the settings until I had an energy blast that resembled what I envisioned. Assigning the Niagara system to the projectile, I tested it out in the level. Not quite there yet, so I adjusted the settings some more and finally got something that looked promising. With the particle effects ready, it was time to create a reaction animation for when the target is hit. I turned to AI for guidance on using Cascadeur to make an electrocution animation. Cascadeur is great for its auto-posing and physics-based adjustments. I experimented with different poses, playing around to get a feel for the software and figure out what looked best. After multiple attempts, I settled on keyframes that created a convincing electrocution effect. I added interpolation, and for autophysics, I turned on smooth trajectory to refine the center of mass and experimented with smooth rotation and compensation motion for enhancements. Not all adjustments improved the result, so I reverted some settings. Once satisfied, I exported the animation as an FBX file and imported it into Unreal Engine, where I created an animation montage. I tied it to the effect triggered when the target is hit. I tested it in-game. Aim, fire, and success. The target shook and fell as if hit by an energy blast. My first animation was complete. Next up was making the target visible through obstacles. For this, I followed a tutorial by Matt Asplant titled How to Highlight an Object with an Outline in Unreal Engine 5. Link in the description. Why didn't I use AI for this? Honestly, at the time, it didn't cross my mind. Following the tutorial step by step, I achieved the desired effect. After a few changes to the weapon and the player character, I could now see targets through walls and obstacles. This feature completed the functionality I needed for the weapon. The only task left is to add sound effects, but that is a project for another day. This journey was a massive learning curve, especially with one hand. I hope you enjoyed following along. If you want to see more about AI and Unreal Engine, check out this video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.